DBIC, the Primetime Capper. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, and I hope you're feeling the same. And it is time for the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles. So today we got ourselves the Power Five to talk about with all these great Power Five games coming up this weekend. So we have all the games of the week to talk about and all that good stuff. Just like yesterday when we talked about the mid five games of the week, now we have our Power Five games of the week, the ones that I know everybody's going to have their eyes on. And I can't do this by myself today because it's Thursday, and we got the man himself, none other than the Don of Cape Cod, Mr. Jeff Dawson, and he is ready to go ahead and break it on down with me today on all these great games that I got for us to talk about. And the first game that I'm going to bring into the fold is going to be this. It's going to be the ACC game of the week between Clemson and Syracuse. Jeff, what are your thoughts on this one, and who do you have winning this game?
It's funny. I go back, I think it was 2 years ago, Pops, where Clemson lost its second game of the year early in the year. Season's over. I mean, Clemson coming off the Florida State debacle, had the game won not once but twice, up seven, driving, strip sack, 60-yard scoop and score, and then, of course, the missed 29-yard field goal to win the game, basically with a minute left, to lose in overtime. The season's over for Clemson. You know that, and I know that. Now Dabo's got to keep the team together as they travel to Syracuse, where a lot of people are calling a live dog, a 4-0 team. Line at 6.5. First instinct is to buy the hook and take Syracuse +7. I remember a handful of years ago, I think it was with Trevor Lawrence, Pops. They were 24-point favorites in Syracuse, and Syracuse beat them outright. But I initially was leaning Syracuse. I'm going to take one last swing here at Dabo. I think he's able to motivate the troops. I think they're going to be able to move the ball. I expect some points to be scored here. I bought the hook here, Pops. I got Clemson -6 early this week. I think Syracuse will be one of those public trendy dogs. Nothing against the orange, but I like the other orange called the Clemson Tigers, Pops.
All right. I'm hearing you right now. That's a very, very strong play because I understand Clemson is still the cream de la creme, other than Florida State in the ACC is actually on a down year this year. Let's keep it real. This is not the ACC of the last 5 years ago. This is whole new group. This is a whole new situation, and this is a new world for them. They got Callan, Stanford, and SMU on the way. And you know what? I feel like they got kind of left out. You know what I mean? Pac-12 had a lot of attention this summer. SEC always gets a lot of attention. And, Big 12 made some big splashes, and the Big 10 is the Big 10 right now, the national conference. So, you sit here and you have a situation where, ACC is really where they have a lot of folks doubting majority of the teams there. They're only really considering 3 teams this year: North Carolina, Florida State, and Clemson. But I look at the Syracuse team. I see a 4-0 team led by Dino Babbers, and I say to myself, Dino Babbers must be doing something right because a lot of coaches, usually they've been fired by this point. Dino Babbers has been here for almost a decade. And that's awesome because he came from a MAC school and there was a lot of excitement when he came in. And let's keep it real. He really hasn't played. They really haven't played up to the expectations that they had for him, but it's coming around. And I feel like now he finally has the team in place that's going to put Syracuse back on a national prominent scene, in my opinion. I say this because I'm looking at the stats, Jeff, and this kid right here is really good. Their quarterback, Garrett Schrader, he is 972 on the year right now, and he's rushed for 316 yards this year as well, too, accounting for 6 touchdowns in that regard. And then he has 6 touchdowns passing. He has 12 touchdowns overall for the season. He's averaging 243 yards per game as well, too. And then you look at it, you say, who did he do it against? Purdue and Army and Western Michigan and Colgate. I look at doing this against a team like Army, who always does have a tough defense. I'm going to go the other way in this one, Jeff. I'm actually going to be a little I'm going to be a little bit on the upset side here. I like Syracuse with the points, but I also like Syracuse to actually win this game as well too. I think it's going to be a strong play, and I feel like Schrader could have his coming out party. And I say this because they have three really good receivers as well too.
No, I like I says, I on paper this is a perfect letdown spot for Clemson, and the thought of them going to 2-3 is kind of scary. We watched this Clemson team lose at Duke as 12.5 point favorites. They got manhandled. If you look deeper into that game, three fumbles, two on the 1 and one on the 7. So again, they've made their own mistakes, and now they got to sleep in their bed. Rumblings, of Dabo Sweeney, Nick Saban, they've lost a little off their fastball, and the rest of the country is getting stronger because of the transfer portal. The sense of urgency and the must win is on the Clemson side, but this could take Syracuse to that next level, Pops, with an upset win.
Yeah, and hey, I love it. I like the way that they look coming into the game. Good running game, good receivers right now. Also, the defense is much better than average. You know what I mean? So, but this is their first two tests of the year. We're going to see exactly who they are come Saturday.